Okay, so let us begin the revision of mains mock tests with respect to GS1. So first question is, give an account of achievements in science and technology in ancient India. So asking us to give an account of the achievements in science and technology of ancient India. Right? As we know that India, being a very ancient civilization, we had progress not only spiritually but also materially also, and science and technology is one of the indicators of how far our civilization has progressed. So, ancient India, if you see the approach to this question, give a brief introduction of the rich legacy of science and technology in ancient India, and then elaborate on the achievements of science and technology in ancient India and conclude accordingly. So, let us look at the model answer provided. India has a rich heritage of science and technology. Yes, we all know that. There is a very rich heritage of science and technology. In ancient India, religion and science worked in close proximity. Always for progress of any civilization, religion and science must work in close proximity. This can be a lesson which we can take toward the modern times. Some key achievements in science and technology are as follows. First, in the area of astronomy, Aryabhata's book Aryabhatiya. So Aryabhata's book Aryabhatiya, this contains special sections on astronomical definitions, methods of determining the true positions of planets, and description of the movement of sun, a moon, and calculations of eclipses. Aryabhatta deviated from the Vedic astronomy and gave it a scientific outlook. That's why science uh, also has to keep on improving over the existing literature, which became the guideline for later astronomers. So this was about Aryabhata's Aryabhatiya, and then Varahamihira's Brihad Samhita of the 6th century AD. 6th century AD is another pioneering work in the field of astronomy. His observations that moon rotated around the Earth and Earth rotated around the sun found recognition in later discoveries, which were based on this assertion. So back then only, there were predictions of how planets and planets are organized. This was about astronomy. Coming to mathematics, the three main contributions in the field of mathematics were the notation system, the decimal system, and the use of zero. So all these three can be quoted: notation system, decimal system, and the use of zero. Aryabhatta discovered algebra. Right, algebra also formulated the area of triangle, which led to the origin of trigonometry. So this was some contributions in terms of mathematics. The town planning, how can we see the application of mathematics? It's in terms of town planning of Harappa, shows the people possessed a good knowledge of measurement and geometry. As we can see that the drains, everything were at right angle to each other. Rows also. The Upper Stamba in the 2nd century BC introduced practical geometry involving acute angle, obtuse angle, and right angle. So this was about uh, the practical geometry involving acute angle, obtuse angle, and right angle. So next, coming to medicine perspective, the two important texts in the field of medicine are Charaka Samhita by Charaka and Sushruta Samhita by Sushruta. So the plants and herbs used for medicinal purposes have been mentioned in Charaka Samhita. So Charaka Samhita and Sushruta, as we know, is for surgery, was a pioneering of surgery. The and mentions 121 surgical instruments. In as Shushruta Samhita was for surgery, mentions 121 surgical instruments. He also mentions the method of operations for surgery, bone setting, cataract, and so on. So all these are specific mentions. The surgery in ancient India were familiar. Surgeons of ancient India were familiar with plastic surgery. So this is one key fact which you can always quote, that plastic surgery, for example, repairing of the external organs such as ears, nose, and lips, was also done. Takshashila and Varanasi. So Takshashila and Varanasi emerged as centers of medicine and learning during this time. So this was about medicine. So we've seen astronomy, one section of the space, mathematics, and medicine. Moving on to metallurgy, the glazed potteries and bronze, the glazed potteries and bronze and copper artifacts are found in the Indus Valley excavations, point towards a highly developed metallurgy. So metallurgy, how we can see infer, is from the objects around us, right? In the first AD, mass production of metals like iron, copper, silver, gold, and alloys like bronze and bronze were taking place. The simple fact that they were using alloys itself shows that they were mixing various metals and framing desired, they were creating alloys. So like brass and bronze were taking place. The iron pillar of Qutub Minar complex is indicative of the high quality of the alloying being done. It is not rusted even today. The alkali and acids were produced Alkaline acids were produced and utilized by making medicines. This technology was also used for other crafts like producing dyes and colors. So textile dyeing was popular. So you must always keep in mind that textile dyeing was popular at that time. The Ajanta frescoes reflect on the quality of the color. So apart from that, we see geographically also the world's first known tidal dock for berthing. And it's also called the first dockyard also in one sense. World's first known tidal dock for berthing and servicing ships was built at the city of Lothal. Right, Lothal is famous for this. Port city of Harappa civilization. These ancient achievements in science and technology resulted from a desire to know the unknown. Right, we had the desire to know the unknown, accompanied with experimentation and observation, which generated scientific temper in the society. So always there is a sense of curiosity which was visible in our society. The quest to find the knowledge of the unknown, to discover newer things, ultimately for human well-being, as well as there is an element of scientific temper which we can see here, which is reflected even today in our fundamental duties. So it was present back then also.